in my tea bag art journal, twisted at the root, I'm going to work with gesso first, which is a white primer, and I've put some on the page, and then I'm going to take this tool here and I'm just going to spread it over. And when this dries, you can scribe into it, make some marks. When this dries, I will use clear plastic wrap or saran wrap and acrylic paints, and it will create these interesting areas to then work with and make some nice designs on the 2 pages here, which are a spread. We'll let this dry now. The gesso has dried, and now what I'd like to do is I'd like to add color to this, and I have my acrylics right here, and I sprayed a little bit of water on there just to dilute it just a little bit, and I used the gesso, let this dry, just spread it on, and now I have some saran wrap or plastic wrap right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this up a little bit on my little plastic palette here. And now if you have, this was a fluid acrylic. If you were using a tube of acrylic paints, you would add more water to this because you want a nice flow over here. So the gesso acts as a resist, so it won't allow the paint to soak all the way through. In some areas it will, but that's what you want to do, is create a resist. So right now I'm just going to put this on, just rub it in. Okay, doesn't have to be over the whole thing. And now I'm going to take the saran wrap and I'm going to lay it on top of there, and I'm just going to kind of squinch it, and you'll see these little lines that are there in this. Those little lines, when you let this sit and dry, you have to be patient, let it sit and dry, those little lines will be in there. So we'll just let this sit and dry and see what happens. All right, I believe that this is pretty well dry. You don't want to pull this up too soon. I just gathered some other things to possibly put in here. So let's reveal this and pull this up at this time. Gently pull it up, and now you have these wonderful textural lines. Now this one's still a little bit wet, but it's not so wet that it seeps back into those areas. But this is really interesting. I wonder if it's still wet, you can go like that, and you can touch on there and see if that comes up. Yep, there you go, a little bit. You don't want to overdo. And that makes, this is another thing to do, is that you can use this as a printing and print with this too. We'll have to show you at another time, but I'm going to bring that up a little bit closer. It's wet, as you can see. And then I have this circle here that actually I had leftover paint, and I put that on there. That's the opposite there. I don't know what it is about this color this morning, but it's really kind of interesting. It gets lost in there because it's the same color, but then it's kind of cool to figure out, well, if I do use this, how can I get this to stand out individually, you know, from there. And that's playing with the values, the lights and darks of things. So we'll see where it goes, but I just wanted to share with you how to work with the plastic cellophane and create these wonderful lines. Almost looks like frost on the window, which we don't want to see too soon here. But you can color in there, you can put words, you can put things on top of there. Again, this is just a layer. Your book page with all the words is one layer that's already there. Then your gesso is there to create the resist. And then you use the paint and you water it down a little bit. You know, like I said here with the fluids, even add more water to it. If you're using a more of a tube acrylic, add more water so that it kind of flows over the surface. And then what you do is you just put that cellophane right on top of there, scooch it up a little bit and let it dry. Be patient. second. Allow the process to happen, and then you get these wonderful areas that are here.